Alright, guys, before this video starts, I just want to quickly make this announcement. If you guys do see me messing with my lip a bunch, it's because I just got lasered, a muscle lasered in that area. I'm gonna quickly show you. So if you guys don't like seeing like gross pictures or anything, go ahead and skip this part. But yeah, I'll show you. Just make sure to click away if you don't like it. You know. All right. It's gross. Just letting y'all know. It's gross. You see? Yeah. I got that laser because that muscle that's right there, is like, that's what makes your gaps like bigger. If it's like too strong or something, it can make your gaps bigger. And I just got my braces off recently, so I don't want that to happen. But yeah. Let's get to the show. So that is what's going on. If you see me mess with my mouth, that is why. But yeah, in today's video, we are going to be watching the story of NadeShot, the self-made superstar. This is made by theScore esports. Link down below to the original video if you want to check it out without any edits or anything like that. But yeah, let's get into the show.
Esports competition is grueling and can wear down even the best pro players. But fans don't only want to watch players compete, they want to care about them too.
And I made it my goal. I wanted people to recognize
Mr. McDonald's, man. If y'all don't know, he was working at McDonald's before he became a superstar.
A superstar. Competitor and internet personality better realized than in a young kid from Chicago.
Chicago.
His name is Matthew NadeShot Hayes.
Right.
He's one of esports' biggest stars. This is his story.
Can he pick up the kill? He does! NadeShot with a huge play there. Unbelievable play.
One of the most influential players in the history of competitive Call of Duty actually started off hating the game.
The first experience I had with Call of Duty was COD 2, and that was when I first got my Xbox 360. I put the game in, and I literally got spawn trapped for the next 5 minutes, and I never played it after that. I absolutely hated it because of that one experience.
But though he didn't fall in love with COD 2, he loved gaming so much that his mom made him get a job at McDonald's just to get him away from the screen.
I think when any parent sees their child doing something that's really out of the ordinary, you know, that's going to raise a lot of red flags. So I can imagine what they thought about it, and I think that's the main reason why my mom made me get a job, because she was worried that I was just going to waste my life away behind my computer screen.
Like 8 hours
McDonald's
a day,
isn't wasting your life away?
8 to 10 hours a day, we would just grind search and destroy public playlists because that was what was fun for us.
Seeking greater competition, NadeShot and his friends went to Game
Guys, let me know if y'all want me to start like doing this
big break.
I'm probably going to try and do it on Call of Duty Black Ops 4.
Optic Nerve during Modern Warfare 2. Nerve
may try and
the two gamers
get a little bit of
to build an Optic roster.
Audience on Call of Duty, maybe? If it's good. If it's not good, then I won't, obviously. But if it's good, then yeah,
while
for
they
sure.
were going back to the organization's roots by
That's so crazy.
Roster,
Optic started out as a sniping
was their focus.
clan.
This early
well, then again, so did FaZe. So.
There were hints that the route to popularity
but Optic is known for
tournament results.
Optic is known for that like super try hard and sweaty, like just to be one of those organizations. But FaZe is like known for sniping. I guess that's because Optic got into like the competitive scene before FaZe, and FaZe was still that sniping organization when Optic was like in competitive. That's my thought process on it, but I don't know.
Fans could be earned online.
Team Optic or Team FaZe? I honestly don't know. I love both.
Like about these competitors on YouTube, and Hex would eventually.
Actually, if I had to choose one, I'd go with
around
Optic.
to the Optic way of thinking.
I like Scumpy. I like Pomage. I like Sprat. I like.
I met him when he was a lot younger.
Karma. I like all of them.
But very pleasant. Just smiles all around. Fun guy to be around to talk to.
Okay, bro. Why is it so zoomed in on your face though?
Like,
back it up. I can see all the pores, brother. I mean, y'all can too on me, but hey.
Taken back of like what is this relationship dynamic?
Though they managed to defeat heavyweights Team Envious at Dallas, Optic finished 8th. And while they still received strong fan support, not long after the event, Hex called NadeShot and told him that the rest of the team wanted him gone. At the time, Hector convinced Nade to continue with content creation and to stay on with Optic in that role. In NadeShot, he saw a rare combination. Even though he wasn't naturally comfortable in front of a camera, he was a strong competitor, but also someone approachable that fans could identify with. Nade told his fans that he was no longer with the
I'm
team,
an introvert.
and although he said it
This
was
is
a
super
voluntary
weird for me to
move,
be like
he later
recording
admitted
myself
that
in
it
front of
had
the
been a
camera,
crushing
and I don't like
In
talking
terms
to
of
people either.
competition,
So.
it wasn't clear when or even if Nade would return, but he threw himself into the business of content
Look at that
creation
phone!
despite still having school and
That
a
was
part-time
ugly.
job.
Anytime that I was at home, I was playing Call of Duty or working on content production for my YouTube channel or my live stream.
Nice job. Keep it good. Keep it up.
That drive showed Hex
Keep it
that
good,
his
keep it up.
investment in Nade might still pay off. And when the competitive team needed a replacement for Rambo at MLG Dallas 2011, NadeShot got the call.
Yeah,
Obviously,
boy.
I haven't played in a while, so
boy.
I'm curious to see
Bruh.
what happens.
After
I don't
helping
care.
the team place
The
third,
fluff.
NadeShot went back to creating content, but Hex could see the competitive fire still burning in NadeShot's eyes, and created a second Optic team called Optic Nation for him to run. Though that team had limited competitive success, Hex saw that NadeShot's content was doing something different. NadeShot understood it too, as he consistently
holding
produced
it like that?
content that bridged the gap between the esports and gaming audiences by offering
got
a
popped.
glimpse into his personal life.
Well, this gameplay is gonna
2K.
ramp up. I kicked the shit out of my
2K.
brother. He's older than me.
I've never
He
even
was
seen
pretty
this
pissed 'cause
before.
I got Kyle Korver and the Chicago Bulls and Derrick Rose.
YouTube. How the fuck you doing? Hey guys, it's NadeShot, and I'm doing a vlog from my iPad that I actually got for my birthday. My grandparents got it for me. I hope you
All I
guys
want
can
for
hear
my
these dogs in the
birthday is a
background
big
because
boot.
they are
Oh no, we
loud
can hear.
as hell.
All right,
We
go
can
ahead.
hear. For sure.
YouTube. How the fuck are you doing?
That was aggressive. Calm down, bro.
From NadeShot, grandfather.
With his subscriber base on YouTube
Calm down, bro.
continuing to grow, NadeShot announced that he had finally quit his job at McDonald's.
Hey.
He was all in on Call of Duty. In June
Yeah.
2011, Optic Nation placed 6th at MLG Columbus, while the
Not
main
good, man.
Optic Gaming
At least
squad
top 3.
took first.
Oh.
Nade saw a shot at glory with another team and briefly joined Envy for MLG.
Wait, I didn't even know
Anaheim
that.
and
For real?
MLG Rally. After a couple of events with Envy, NadeShot
I thought it
finally
was
had
only on
another
Optic.
chance on
My
Optic's
bad.
main roster at
That's
the
how much I
biggest
paid
Call of
attention.
Duty event yet, COD XP 2011. Featuring $1 million prize pool and
A million,
post-tournament performance by Kanye
million,
West,
a
it was
million.
Activision's first big step into figuring out COD.
Was that
esports.
Black Ops
The
2?
tournament may not have had the most
Oh, no, it was
competitive
World War
field,
3. I
and
mean-
it featured Modern Warfare 3,
Modern
a
Warfare
game
3.
that wasn't even out yet. But with NadeShot, Optic won, again raising questions about why he was sidelined when both his skill and popularity could be better harnessed by the organization. But he stepped back down, restarted Optic Nation, and waited. He waited for over a year, during which he played with a number of mixed teams, none of which had wins at any major event. However uneventful 2012 was in NadeShot's career, it was the year in which he would suffer his most significant loss.
Hey guys, what's going on? It's NadeShot
God.
from Optic Gaming, and some of you may have heard in the past couple days on Twitter, if you follow me or anybody else, that my mom actually passed away at the age of 47 on Saturday night. She died in her sleep. That's kind of a
Well, that's the best way to go out in my
just want to let you guys know that I'm truly.
At least
a
she went
fan
out
of
like that,
the
and it wasn't
support
like
that
she
you
didn't
show
have to
me
suffer
on
or anything.
Twitter and all my social media outlets like Facebook.
NadeShot's mother, Christina, had sometimes criticized his gaming, but in time came to support his esports dream.
I think she would approve now, for sure. I think things have kind of taken off to a point where
For
she
sure,
wouldn't
bro.
have a
You got
choice at
sponsorship
this
by
point.
Red
I
Bull.
mean,
What are you talking about?
just the
For
things
sure.
I've been able to do for my family and the things that I've been able to do for myself in my career, I think she would completely understand it.
While NadeShot's 2012 had been tumultuous, Optic had been experiencing one of its most successful periods in Call of Duty, dominating Modern Warfare 3 with up-and-coming star Scump. But
Scumpy.
NadeShot wasn't satisfied with watching the team's success from the sidelines, so he convinced Hex and the team to add
In my
him
opinion,
as a starter
Scumpy's the
in
best
place of
current player.
Rambo.
I convinced them to let me back on the team. So like it was my time to shine. I had all this pressure on my shoulders because nobody really agreed with the roster move. They did not want to see Rambo off the team, but for me, like, this was me trying to come into my own.
With NadeShot in the lineup, Optic headed to UMG Chicago for the first ever LAN event on the recently released Call of Duty Black Ops 2.
We were either going to be so incredibly successful and shock the world, or I was going to be like the laughing stock of like the competitive community.
In spite of the pressure, NadeShot rose to the occasion, and the team found themselves in the grand finals against an Aches-led Complexity.
That was the biggest rivalry for us, dude. Aches
In my
always
opinion, I
picked
feel
Optic
like
fast for whatever
Complexity was
reason. They just
probably
always
the
beat us.
best
He was
team
just
in
talking
Black Ops
so
2.
much shit
It was either between
before this
Complexity
match even
or
started.
Optic,
Like, we're
one of
sitting on
those.
main stage, and this dude is
They were
just
both
doing what he
exciting
does
teams.
best, and he's trying to get into everybody's head. And I was just so focused on winning the match that I really wasn't, getting in on it.
But NadeShot
That's how
and
I'd be,
Optic would
too.
have the last
I would
laugh
just be
this
the
time,
quiet
and
one.
the
I wouldn't
fallout
be
from
the
their
one that was
triumph
talking a
got
bunch
a
of
little
crap or
heated.
nothing.
All comes down to this.
Until the end. Then
NadeShot
I'm
gets it
popping
out. Big
shots,
Timer
brother.
Crimson Zone. It's a 3-on-3
You
situation
know?
now. Big Timer looking through.
Calling
And
out
Ace
all
gets the kill.
y'all.
Merc is through- And
If you
usually
lose,
Big
it'll
Timer
be
makes a
like
big kill.
that.
And now Scum picks up on Ace and is a 1v2. And then TP stuck in the corner. It's going to be all up to this. And they have position onto this. This is it. And this is it. This is it. We do have
The quality looks like we're filling on the potato. God dang. Oh, dang, Ace. Dang, Ace, y'all want to push?
NadeShot and Aches already
Ooh,
had
he's
a
looking at
history,
me on the team
but
out.
this
Popped him.
incident
Popped him.
escalate their rivalry to the next level.
This is like a cringy and embarrassing video. And it like set off like the entirety of the success that Call of Duty had, man. Like, I'm cringing watching myself, but this was just like a moment that I'll never forget.
As 2013 began, NadeShot finally signed with Red Bull after over a year of speculation regarding a deal.
Probably the most humbling experience of my life. For me, this is kind of something that was a dream come true.
It marked not just a landmark moment in Nade's career, but for Call of Duty esports as a whole. Although Optic managed to beat Aches and Complexity again at the Call of Duty Championship, a disappointing third place finish marked the beginning of a majorless slump for the team in 2013. But Optic was changing. They added a gaming house in Chicago and continued to grow in popularity despite their lack of first place finishes. Even when the results weren't there, the content was.
If you enjoyed it, make sure you click the like button, favorite it if you really enjoyed it, comment, let me know what you thought of the video.
Back when
and
YouTube had
Christmas
favors,
always helps me out.
favorite.
NadeShot, now living in a team house and fully immersed in Call of Duty, took a moment to reflect on how
Dang,
big
bro.
this
When
opportunity
he used to have,
was.
when Optic Big Timer used to have a full head, now he's bald like, boom,
And
boom.
my mom,
Oh, bro, don't
my
cry.
mom never really saw
Gonna
it
make
going
me
anywhere.
cry.
And she really worried about me. She really worried for me. If this was gonna work out, if I was kind of screwing my own life up by quitting school. But I always saw school as something like it's always gonna be there, and it's
That's
always
how I
gonna
think.
be my backup plan. So the fact that all this has worked out so far, and the growth has continued. I really do appreciate it, guys.
A few months later, JCap replaced Merc, and the team finished second at the MLG Fall Invitational, Optic's best placement since UMG Chicago, with Aches playing foil to NadeShot's hopes in a back-breaking comeback.
All the pressure's on JCap here. Aches playing it perfectly.
Isn't Clayster
Don't
on
engage.
the phase team
Make him
now?
go for the plant. Now Aches knows he needs to
I think he's
go.
on phase.
Is he too late in transition to catch the carrier?
He's on Optic
JCap,
now.
did he get away? The Ninja JCap here, it's going to come down to one final fight. Oh, Aches
Ooh, got popped. Got popped. What's good, JCap? What's up? Oh, wait, no. I'm going for Optic. Dang it, bro. But, I mean, JCap got popped.
Crim 6 is 1v3
So.
with a 1v2.
2013 had shown Optic that the demands of both competition
I didn't look
and
at the
content
COL or
creation
the
could take their toll
Optic
on players
thing. I
that
just
were
looked at the name.
unprepared.
Oh,
But
get popped.
NadeShot
Then it was
had
like,
always been able to
dang.
satisfy both sides of that equation. Still, Hex acknowledged that the situation must have been frustrating. 2014 would be the year of Call of Duty Ghosts, a polarizing game within
Second
the
worst
esports
Call of
scene
Duty in
that
my opinion.
ultimately led to a roster
Behind
shift
Infinite
on
Warfare.
Optic. The team would keep Nade and Scump, but add Clayster.
And then it goes World War II. I hate
However,
World War
despite the lineup changes, it would end up being a year Optic fans would prefer to forget. Although the two had arguments in the past, an incident
Dang,
early in the
Scump
year
buff?
saw NadeShot and
Well,
Scump
buffer than
butt
he is.
heads, with Scump actually issuing an ultimatum to the team. Get rid of Nade, or he would leave and go to Team Envious.
He basically
That'd
thought
be
that
scary.
I was the reason why we couldn't win. He just wasn't a fan of me, didn't like me anymore.
NadeShot actually went to Hex and offered to step down, saying that Scump was the better player and deserved the spot. But given the way Scump had approached the situation, Hex decided to keep NadeShot. It would work out, as Scump quickly asked to come back. After a disappointing start to the year, the team again managed a third-place finish at the Call of Duty Championship. Once again, they lost a close, important series to Complexity.
And that is a 6-0
I
finish
mean,
for
hold on.
Complexity.
Let's go back and look at that
Morale
scoreboard real quick. Let me just go back and see that scoreboard real
Asked to
quick.
come back. After a disappointing start to the year, the team again managed a third-place finish at the Call of Duty Championship.
Oh, never mind. I was
Once
about to
again,
say,
they lost
NadeShot out Frag Scump, but nah, he just got more points. But then again,
a
Frags
close,
isn't everything.
important series
About
to complexity.
And that is a
6-0
finish for
rotations
complexity.
and
Morale
comms and
wasn't great
all that
as
stuff.
the year continued, but NadeShot wasn't giving up. Invited to participate at the MLG X Games Invitational, the team had an important chance to get on the board against some of their biggest rivals.
Going into that tournament, I thought that we could either place top 3 or we were going to get dead last. It was an invitational tournament. There was 8 teams. You know, practicing and scrims for us prior to the event were very up in the air in terms of the results. It was just really inconsistent.
The former Complexity roster that included Aches signed with Evil Geniuses right before the event.
Truthfully, I'm a
Why do you look at the camera and raise eyebrows like?
So I was thinking like the worst was coming. And then all of a sudden we came out of the gate swinging.
And Proofy and NadeShot in a 2-on-2 against Crim6 and Karma.
NadeShot does win that
Pop
game against Crim6. That's going to leave Karma in a 1 versus 2.
Karma. Bow! Bow! Bow!
Crim6 is right next to a player and he gets turned on.
NadeShot with the carry though. NadeShot and Crim6 carrying for their teams? Okay.
He's in that B site.
And that bomb is down, most importantly. He is running out of time. He knows it. He is done.
NadeShot with that top frag.
And he's getting pumped up. NadeShot with a big defensive stand. They have those 2 flags. They just need to try and win some time. NadeShot's going to clean up another kill.
Get out of his face, boy. Get out of his face, boy.
And with 20 seconds left, Optic Gaming have done what was the impossible. They have taken down EG.
After defeating EG, Optic defeated Team Caliber in the finals to earn a gold medal.
Goonjar, I have them highlighted on your mini-map. Goon about to get cleaned up from behind.
Yeah.
I have a question. Did Comstuff was he the founder and is he the founder and owner of TK, or is he just the owner and someone else founded it but gave him the right, like gave him all the power and stuff?
NadeShot's a peacock. You gotta let him fly sometimes, man. He gets those kills. Go for the ace. He's got the ace. Oh, and he gets the ace. Gotta get the kill. Gujar's gotta find Clayster. Clayster's gonna look, and he gets the kill.
The Bulldog. Yeah,
Optic Gaming, your X Games gold medal champion.
Dang, bro, Hex looks so young.
There was no prize pool.
Then again, he still looks young, and he's like what, 30 or something?
Found a victory in the
he looks like he's like 21, 22.
I feel like I'm about to tear
25.
up. It's my first MLG event that I ever won. I'm so happy that I won it with these guys. Ever since I watched Halo 2 as a young kid on MLG, I dreamed about winning an MLG event, and for this to finally happen, plus a gold medal at the X Games, it's literally.
That girl, the one that's holding the MLG mic, she's from that one the person. I forgot what their intro was or like outro. It was like, whew, I don't know. It was with some dude. I forgot. Like couple pranks or something. It was something pranks where
sadly,
her and her
this would be the
boyfriend
high point
pranked each
for
other.
the team's year. And as the team continued
I'm
to
pretty
struggle,
sure they broke up now.
NadeShot increasingly became the subject of controversy. As the team went to a Red Bull-sponsored training camp, NadeShot and Scump were already looking for a replacement for Proofy. The answer would be Crim6, and he wanted to add Formal to the team, so Clayster 2 was released. On paper, this roster was poised to take the 2015 Call of Duty Advanced Warfare season by storm. The fresh game was a boon for NadeShot. The team got off to a strong start.
I didn't watch
first at
any
UMG Orlando and the regular season of the MLG Pro League Season 1.
I always,
because
I was never really into Call of Duty like esports. I always thought that NadeShot stopped
But while the
playing in
team was
Ghost.
doing well, Nade felt like his play was deteriorating. His reactions weren't enough to carry him through matches. And when Optic finished 7th at COD Champs after their hot start, NadeShot knew it would be his last event.
And I felt like my passion to win just wasn't high enough to continue to compete at this level. And so to give you guys kind of a mindset of what's been going through my head, I just felt like I was playing to not lose. I wasn't really playing to win, so that I wouldn't have to hear about losing, the repercussions of it on Twitter and on my YouTube channel the week after. I was just so immensely afraid of the fact that nobody would want to kind of watch my streams or my videos because I didn't have that role in Optic Gaming anymore. And that is something that definitely kind of
hindered me from making that decision a little sooner.
3 years of streaming, YouTube content,
It
and competition
tastes weird. They put
had
some
pushed
weird
him to
stuff
his
on it.
limit. But the comments
And
blaming
it
him
smells
for
like
the team's
it's burnt,
woes
so.
became overwhelming.
I'm a pretty self-conscious person, and with all these people being so hypercritical about the way that I play and my role in that team, it got to me, man. And I've got pretty thick skin, but I just didn't want to be the scapegoat anymore.
In hindsight, it's surprising that he managed to juggle all these responsibilities for as long as he did. And given the demands of esports competition today, it's unlikely that we'll ever see it happen at his level again.
What you might see is players saying, hey, I don't want to figure out the balance. I either want to be full-blown competition and dabble a little bit, or I want to be full-blown content. And maybe not, you can't just dabble in competition, right? You have to really, really focus. So I think that fork in the road is going to cause decisions, but for the players that can maintain
Like
both,
Skunk,
or
he hasn't uploaded in like
it's tough.
4 months or something.
NadeShot
My
has
God
since
dang.
created his
He
own
dabbles in YouTube and goes hide in the paint and call it dirty.
2017,
You
it
know
was
what I
revealed that
mean?
100 Thieves had secured a spot in the newly franchised
League of
NALCS
Legends.
and had backing from Dan Gilbert, the owner of the Cleveland Cavaliers. In their first NALCS split, 100 Thieves placed
God dang.
first in the regular season,
God
and
dang.
NadeShot was with the team every step of the way.
I'm so happy to be a part of these guys' careers, and our team is awesome, and I want to scream it from the mountaintops.
Call of Duty gave him his first big break, but it didn't define him. And even now, as he cheers on the team
He a
that he both
businessman
manages and
now.
owns, it's obvious that one of esports' biggest stars is still that kid from Chicago.
But that's it. YouTube. We'll see you fucking later.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. If you want more great content just like this, be sure.
What the? Okay, good. Well, I would say see you effing later, but one, my mom's home, so I can't cuss. And two, I don't want to get age restricted from YouTube.